Well, now that the weather is warming up and the snow is melting, Hampton Roads is dealing with another problem. Broken pipes are creating problems in homes all over Hampton Roads. As they thaw out, they often flood homes and force ceilings to cave in. Plumbers are especially busy in homes that lost electricity during this latest winter storm.
Some of the commodes were iced all the way through, busted pipes, and we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet, because when stuff starts thawing out, it's going to really be a mess.
It may be hard to tell the extent of the problem until the temperature rises and the pipes thaw out. And the man who can tell us when that'll happen is standing over at the weather board. Jeff?
Well, I'm sure you've noticed the last couple of days, every day has been just a little bit less frigid. That is going to continue to be the case for the next couple of days. There's one problem with the forecast. When I was first starting to study meteorology up at Penn State, they told us, remember this saying, snow begets snow. And what do I mean by that? Well, it tends to cool the atmosphere off more than the computer models often indicate. So when you have snow around, the next system, if it's borderline, is almost always snow or sleet, something like that, instead of the rain that the computers are calling for. Why do I mention that? Because the computers are calling for a very borderline situation to develop Wednesday night and on into Thursday. For once, I'm going to throw away that old saying. I don't think it's going to hold in this case, and here's why. We have the clear skies now with the clouds out to the west. It is extremely cold. We're going to be down near record low temperatures tonight, probably in the low to mid-teens. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. As I said, things are going to start to warm up. By tomorrow afternoon, only about 42. We should drop to about 30 tomorrow night. There could be some very scattered light activity late Wednesday and out ahead of this system on Thursday. When that happens, we might have just a touch of frozen precipitation, but for the most part, by the time the steady rain gets in here, the steady precipitation, I think it'll be warm enough. I'm pretty sure it should be warm enough to be rain and not the sleet and the snow, but I'll certainly keep an eye on that and let you know if I change my mind by tomorrow. Here's the west coast. Of course, here is Florida, the Baja Peninsula. Seattle's up under here. A huge stream of moisture. This is what we call the Pineapple Express, because it starts out in the Pacific around Hawaii and just chugs moisture all the way across the Pacific and on into the Northwest. And the result, lots and lots of rain, places like Seattle, heavy snow atop of Mount Rainier and some of the higher elevations, but enough rain that we're worried about some flooding, believe it or not, out across the Pacific Northwest the next couple of days. Nothing like that closer to home, just cold temperatures. We were actually at 17 last hour. It has bumped up at the airport to 20, but everywhere basically. Look at Melfa, 11 degrees, 22 in Nags Head. Let's take a look at the current conditions as well as the almanac page and talk about, well, obviously still some ice on the trees. The high today was 30, and that was at Norfolk International. It was 35 at Newport News Williamsburg International, so most spots were around freezing or even a little above. Last night's low, 11, and did we break the record? Not quite. Look at that, 10 degrees, just missed it by 1, and that's a record that has stood since 1917 and obviously will for at least one more year. At 11 o'clock, we have clear skies, 20 south side, 17 peninsula, and a calm wind. Here's a look at my forecast then. Overnight, mainly clear, very cold, partly because of the calm winds. 10 in the coldest locations to 16 right by the water. Tomorrow morning, mostly sunny, still unseasonably cold, only in the 20s. Tomorrow afternoon, some hazy or dim sunshine, even a little milder, about 42. Tomorrow night, a few showers are possible late at night. They could be some sort of a mixture, a frozen mixture, either at the start or in inland sections, the low 30. Thursday, variably cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 50 degrees. Some rain into Friday, and then a pretty nice day Saturday, but maybe some more clouds Sunday. So I guess generally good news.
Something to look forward to, if we can make it through the next couple of days.
I think so.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Well, coming up on 13 News, find out how an arson movie scene became a real-life melodrama. It's tonight's homework for the Exhale exam.
Michael Jordan and the Bulls hope to start a new winning streak. Scott has more later in sports. First, the stock market climbed sharply today. Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 52 points for a record close. Gainers led decliners 7-5.
Time out.
Time out?
Time out for the new kid in the house. New honey frosted Wheaties.
Hey,
what about crispy Wheaties and raisins? Mine's a frosted flake. They're sweet like me. Very sweet. Mine's got a big crunch and raisins.
Does have raisins. He's got the raisins, all right.
Honey roasted Wheaties. Crispy Wheaties and raisins. Now they're...
So what do you get when you combine men, women, and relationships? Oh boy. The film Waiting to Exhale has all those ingredients, and boy, are the people talking.
Terry, it's about women who love men and the men who disappoint them. Well, some men feel much maligned by the movie, and in this 13 News Extra, they couldn't wait to exhale. Real life or just a really good script?
Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
If opinions count at the box office, this one is a winner. Moviegoers are literally singing the film's praises.
When we exhale, yeah, yeah, say shoot, 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 shoot.
Not only are they shooping, Waiting to Exhale has turned up the volume on the male-female dynamic.
The more I look at you, you look like the scum of the earth.
I really thought the movie was bashing men. I don't think they go burning their clothes, burning their car. I mean, it's just TV, a movie.
Just a movie? Well, at least one person took the film too seriously. When love soured in Detroit last month, the headline screamed with the real-life revenge of a woman scorned.
A lot of women have had to put up with a lot of heartache.
Or with dogs, why do they deal with this?
Good question. Now for the answers, our panel of 4 single men agreed to candidly discuss the film's major themes. Let's talk about sex.
Does he think he just did something here? I could have had a V8.
You got a lot of young men who are experiencing some turmoil in the loins.
Bottom line, if you take care of her, she's going to take care of you.
Just give and give, and, they give nothing in return. You're having problems in bed. You're probably having problems elsewhere in the relationship, too. Sex is important, but I want somebody I can talk to also.
Well, tomorrow on 13 News at 5, women talk about commitment and what happens when men give chase. That's tomorrow as we continue the homework portion of the Exhale exam.
And speaking of sports...
He gives and he gives. And he gets nothing in return.
Nothing in return.
Absolutely.
I'll try to give some more.
Quoted that part.
How do I follow that up?
I don't know.
Well, I'll try. We'll talk about Michael Jordan. That should help get us going. And then we'll also talk about North Carolina up to their old tricks again tonight.
Hello, I'm John Miller.
And I'm Rhonda Bentley. Not a heat wave, but at least things are warming up. We'll have the forecast.
I'll have the latest news, including how Hampton Roads is getting back to normal. Make it a good morning, Wednesday morning from 5:30 to 7.
This is the new TV Guide. Just open it up, and boom, you're there inside the romantic couples issue. Are the friends more than friends? That's what I want to know. It's a look at TV's most and least romantic couples. When you want to be there, get inside TV Guide.
The Chicago Bulls in a very unusual situation tonight. They were trying to figure out how to rebound from a loss. That's been a rare event. They are 41-4, but they lost their last time out. 41-4. Phil Jackson hasn't had to do a whole lot of coaching. Look at this. Talk about the shirt off your back. I think you had to go back into the locker room after that one. But Virginia Tech has about a week and a half to get their game primed. February 17th is their showdown with UMass. Undefeated, ranked #1 and leading the other division of the Atlantic 10. Tonight, Virginia Tech, they were up against Duquesne. Well, they built a 17-point lead. Plays like this one, the steal up ahead to Sean Good, and it was. Virginia Tech ranked number 11 in the country, in case you were forgetting all about that. This is the first time all year I think we've had Tech highlights without any Ace Custis. The slam by Keith Matthews, he was their star tonight. They blew that 17-point lead, but actually came back to hold on at the end, 69-63. And then there's Maryland against North Carolina. Here comes Maryland with the breakaway. Second half, X-Rehip with the shot and scored. Nice slam. And this happened time and time again tonight. The steal and the layup from Maryland. Playing like they were the preseason #1 pick in the ACC, but only 4-4 coming in. They got up by 17 points. This happens every game out with North Carolina. They come back. Shamon Williams with a three-pointer.
This is about 4 games in a row. They've come back from a double-digit deficit, and here they are again. They tied it up. Williams tied at 78, so they fouled almost on purpose, I think, maybe on purpose. Terrell Stokes, a freshman, he goes to the line, he hit 3 free throws, and Maryland beat North Carolina 84-78. That ACC is just all up in the air. Who knows who's going to beat anybody anymore? I'll make it 51 years and running. The Norfolk Sports Club Jamboree with their usual assortment of celebrities. This year, Sam Weiss, Frank Beamer, Lee Corso, and Heath Schuler. We tracked down Heath Schuler at the Norfolk Sports Club tonight. You know, not only do they have these celebrities in, but they're raising money, scholarship money. They honor athletes from the area, and they give out scholarship money. We talked to Heath about what his life's been like. Better than mine, I hope.
I'll keep the expectations of myself the same. You know, each year, obviously, you want to elevate your level of play and your performance on the field. And, you know, I'm just, whatever it takes, I'm not going to pressure myself anymore. And that was, obviously, a negative, you know, that I had against myself. I just want to go out and press and press and press. It doesn't always work.
That's Heath Schuler, and I want to mention what a great character he is, just as far as, you know, what he's got within himself. And also I want to mention Plaxico Burris, a star out of Green Run High School, one of the top 25 recruits in the country. Looks like he's going to Michigan State. That's the word I get tonight. Signings tomorrow, so we'll let you know for sure tomorrow.
Okay.
I trust your sources.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, tomorrow is supposed to be warmer, but just how warm? Jeff's back with a peek at tomorrow's wake-up window.
Plus, a Chesapeake family embraces a new addition to their family after waiting for months. Stay with us.
A gift of jewelry is like love itself, timeless. And at the Diamond and Jewelry Exchange in Virginia Beach, we buy for less, so we sell for less, which means you'll find magnificent estate and unique jewelry at wholesale prices every day. Why pay retail for fine jewelry? The Diamond and Jewelry Exchange will make you a smart shopper, and that's something everybody loves. Diamond and Jewelry Exchange.
Car.
It pays to stay up and watch the 11 o'clock news. Why is that? Because Hampton, you don't have any school tomorrow. We said it was closed. We meant it is closed.
It is still closed. Final check of the weather. Here's Jeff.
Still closed. The ice and the snow, they're not going anywhere. Maybe tomorrow you'll have school, but for tonight, a lot of ice out there and cold. Let's check the morning temperature. And I'd say early part of the rush hour, about 18, 19, 20 degrees. By later rush hour, 20 to a whopping 23. Real balmy.
Jeff, they are not having school tomorrow.
No school at Hampton.
No
Closed. Stay home.
And finally,
there was a new addition to a Chesapeake family today, but she didn't arrive at a hospital.
The new daughter arrived at the airport all the way from China. Joe Flanagan has more.
After months of waiting, this was the day the Lappert family of Chesapeake would greet their newest member.
Bridget is going to lose her place as the only girl in the baby, but I think she's also excited about having a playmate. And I think Joseph, my 6-year-old, has been really worried about his sister because we thought she may be malnourished. And now that he knows that she's okay, I have a feeling he's going to be very protective.
Patrick Lappert stepped off the plane fresh from China with his 2-year-old daughter, newly named Rita Grace. And Rita met her new American mother for the first time in Norfolk.
We had her little picture on her bed. And we'd pray, when we pray together at night, her picture would be there. So she's been my daughter for a lot longer than I've actually known her. So.
It was quite a moment.
I'm just glad she's home. And she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
3 of the 4 Lappert children are adopted. Even Patrice's mother made the trip to China.
But the process is worth it. And if we can help anyone bring more of these precious angels home, it would be all worth it.
Joe Flanagan, 13 News.
Hey, Rich. And you know what? We have our very own new arrival here at WVEC. Lauren Yee had her baby, Alexandra, this morning.
Isn't that a pretty name? 8 pounds, 8 ounces, which isn't a whole lot littler than Lauren is.
Yeah. She'll be back, I guess, in a couple of months.
We welcome her and congratulations.
Thanks for the company.
Good night.